You know what? I got backache. So, you have to put up with the reflection of the light bulb. The horrible fucking 2-watt LED light bulbs. I don't mean they use 2 watts of electricity to generate 1000 watts of light. No, they literally give off about 2 watts of light. Well, spastic millennials will believe anything that's written on the packet, mate. Ooh! 40-watt light bulb! Ooh! Yeah, maybe if you've got a fucking floodlight in your living room at the same time. Anyway, let's check out the directory this time. So, what was going on there then? Oh yeah, I know what's going on, mate. Right, so I thought I've got to do something useful rather than just record me playing the odd game. That's the old me, mate. That's before I was famous. Now I'm famous. Yeah, that's why my back's a bit duff at the moment, because you know Avril Lavigne, she's a bit of a little go-getter, innit? See, that was me and Avril Lavigne up at the Fort Park there. It's closer to her, because Fort Park is closer to America than Alton Towers. You should know these things, mate, but maybe you didn't go to school like me. I don't know, mate. But that's just the way it is, isn't it? Well, that didn't go to plan. Oh, there it is. So, I decided to do something called ZX Buttfucks, 1983 edition first. Because, as you well know, or you probably don't fucking know, because everyone else in the retro gaming community who bigs themselves up with their Patreon channels, they're thick as shit, and their research is literally about fucking 2 seconds on YouTube, which is how long they last with their ugly wives and boyfriends. Because, you know, I'm not judging, mate. I'm just pointing out that some of them, they may not actually partake in the vagina situation, you know. Not that I really care. It's got nothing to do with me on that aspect. But they are thick as shit. Just like me typing load there. But yeah, you know, Avril Lavigne bouncing around. I had to give her some fucking beer in the end. Only 50p a can, I think. No, actually that was wrong. I erroneously stated that the beers were 55p a can or 50p a can. But 4 cans for 250, that does not make, no. It's 125 for 2, and therefore, did you get it right? 62.5p each. So, fucking roll-up's gone out. And of course Avril Lavigne took my lighter. But yeah, anyway, these are some of the, you know what, fucking, fuck the camera, mate, we need a bit more brightness there. On my super expensive equipment. Now, it's alright if you've got an LCD. Don't worry, mate, don't worry with the LCD. Of course, they don't all fit on the screen. No, I've done that intentionally. Yeah, so, got Blue Max, which I love. So it's not really based on the film. Interesting topic for those of you who spend your time on those Patreon prick channels. The closest thing I could find to Wings, on the Amiga, obviously, exclusive release. Now, having a roll up, mate. I can't do three things at once. What do you think? I'm an alien? Yeah. The closest I could find to the game Wings, and specifically the mini-game, the two mini-games that are not shit, and one is vastly better than the other. If you play it on the Amiga 4040 that costs like two grand, is, the dogfighting section. Now, the samples for the machine guns on the biplanes there, they come from this movie too. So, and some of the cutscenes and the Zaxxon rip-off level is also from that movie. What movie? Blue Max, the Blue Max. Now, the Blue Max is it's a 2-hour, 35-minute movie, and the end credits, unlike today, which are like 12 fucking minutes, they're only like 1.5 minutes. So it is literally over 2.5 hours. But at least 45 minutes of that is for the women. Because in the 60s, you went to the cinema with your wife, girlfriend. And even in a war movie, they had to put bullshit like that the women might care about. Me, I zipped past all that bullshit. And yes, the Blue Max. So the samples for the guns, some of the camera angles, the little mission where you've got to blow up all the... so the only difference is, right, because cinema where don't really like the Nazis, people who work there, they kind of swapped it round. So the George Peppard character that you play in Wings is actually for the Allies. Anyway, let's not get into, the moral high ground that Austria had over Serbia in World War One. Let's not get into that right now. That's a topic for a completely set of IQ rating viewers. No offence to you. You don't want to have a high IQ. Because you get blinkered vision. You see, higher your IQ, the more tunnel vision you get, which makes it difficult to play games. But I decided to do this thing, poor people had a Spectrum, and that's fine. I thought we have to make a computer for the poor people as well. But, really, if you didn't have a C64, you missed that, mate. And let's start off with the biggest selling 8-bit game in the world, which sold, I believe, 55 billion copies, International Soccer. But this is a list I made of all the great games on the C64. Now, Manic Miner really... You can enjoy it on the Spectrum. Jump controls are a bit wankered, but whatever. But most of the other stuff is like, this is what it's like to have a C64 in 1983. And as I said, unlike the Patreon pricks who never tell you, C64 is only on sale in the UK and possibly the whole of Europe in a very limited number for 6 weeks at the end of 1982. Blink and you'll miss it, mate. Bit like the talent in the YouTube retro gaming community, specifically home computer games, specifically 8-bit and 16-bit. Yeah, the 486 is a 32-bit chip, and DOS games running on a 486 are considered retro gaming, obviously. You're not going to be running Colin McRae 1 on your 486. So I got all sorts of different games in there. Now, I did include one game from 1982 for those, rich bastards like me who had a C64 a month before Christmas in 1982. You had to have something, but technically that's a Max Machine game. So, and Forbidden Forest, which I forgot. There you go, proves I'm human like the rest of us. So, let's see what we should check out first. Now, because Avril Lavigne fucked my back up, the little vixen, I love her really, We're going to be playing Hunchback, so I've got a dirty, great big fucking water bottle on my back at the moment. So, the Great Peter Sellers there. Great Peter Sellers there. It's the best. That was a highly realistic interpretation of the flying Hunchback. But you don't fly in this particular version. Because, you know, that's just not how it was in the arcade. Now, hopefully this will still work, because I'm not a nerd. There we go. Now, of course, you might have had a ZX Spectrum early in 1983, but there's no joystick ports on it, so you'd be playing the games on the dead flesh keyboard, so unless you're a necrophiliac, I don't think that's really as good as using a decent joystick. Well, a joystick. There was joysticks in 1983 for the C64 and other sensibly designed computers which had a joystick port. So let's go ahead and load up Hunchback now. Hunchback is a 1983 game. Manic Miner is a 1983 game. I have a cassette which has copyright 1983 Manic Miner Commodore 64 software project. So there you go. It is a 1983 game. It may be December the 31st, 1983, but nonetheless it's 1983. So by our rules, you know. So yeah. I only made 2 games in 1982, and Armageddon is a bit shit, but Hunchback was one of those games where it's like, oh, thank fuck I got a C64. Thank God my dad actually finished school and got a job, so I could have a C64 15 years later or whatever it works. I don't know. You do the math, mate. I'm actually the oldest in the family, so you know. Now I'm gonna have to get up and get my highly specialised drink, which you can't buy anywhere, because I make it myself, obviously. Yeah, thanks for the sympathy about my back, and let's talk about something else while we get ready to decrunch this game, because it has loaded now. Joystick port 2, yeah, we're good to go, mate. Yeah, so uploaded my video, and it was nice to see all those people on there, and I have done a follow-up to that video where I do explain how much is a case of beer. Don't need to buy a case of beer. It's a spoiler, and the old Z80 comment has been covered, so don't you worry about that. But this is a new thing I'm working on, like I said. And we're not doing any kind of like cheating. Cheating is for the lower class. It's not working class, no. Below the working class. They're called scum class. And they did exist in the 70s and the 80s. The children of the scum class are the kind that you just go out and kill cats on the street. Scum! Considering the cats were just as intelligent as these little fuckers, I think it should have been fair game for the cat owner to go out and kill the fucking children that killed the cats. End of story there. I'm glad you agree. But yeah, getting back to it, you know how I say, you know, real men use real hardware. And you know why I used to say that is to wind a certain prick up on a certain forum. I'm not going to mention. He's not a moderator. He thinks he is, but anyway. You know, I was surprised that someone didn't say, welcome the fuck back, mate. Where have you been? And is someone who allegedly was subscribed to my channel, although they only watch about 3 videos. Well, they only comment maybe on 2 videos a year. And it's a certain person with a certain accent. And they obviously got very upset about the whole real hardware situation. I'm better than them. Look, mate, that's just how it is. I'm better than you. And if you can't handle that, go and play with your fucking 1 centimetre little penis. Or get your ugly 50-something-year-old girlfriend to play with it now that your wife's dumped you. You fucking loser. Hey, I can't start the game. No, this is bullshit. Buttons are still working. Let's turn everything down a bit. It's incredibly difficult to get this game to display properly. It's either too dark or too bright. See what I mean? Pardon me. That's a posh way of evacuating gaseous extraneous media from your body. Ah, crap. Yeah, I can barely see the bloody screen. There are things I have to do for you people, mate. So that's the first game. Of course you can get Hunchback for the Spectrum. Would you want to play it instead of this? No way, mate. And I'm glad you agree with that, because if you don't, well, why are you watching my fucking channel, innit? I've already reviewed every C64 game in existence worth of shit apart from 3, which I'll do at some point. And all the new games are shit anyway, so I don't give a fuck. What about Sonic? Sonic is not a Commodore 64 game. It's a game for elitist wankers with a 1541 Ultimate. And the 3 super fucking nerdy nerds who have an REU. Wow, that is really fucking dark. I can barely see. Night blindness forever. Forever. I used to be in a band. Not that you'd know. We were really successful, but I had to knock it on the head. Yeah, no, I didn't want to get fucking herpes from all the groupies. Bless them. So yeah, I mean, why would you want to play the Spectrum version? This is like, that's for the poor people, and this is for the people who went to school. Stroke their parents went to school. Ah! It's a real arsehole, that bit. That's a technical term in the trade. Now, doing that, you know, changing direction in the air business, that's really where the Matrix, you know, the Wachowski sisters, they copied me there, you know. I taught them that. Simple game. Early game. 1983 game. And it's already... Ah, fuck, Dad! We've got the wrong computer. And of course... the dad, you know, slapping the kid round, because that's how it was back then. Okay. See, I can't see the bloody things, because I've got the brightness down so low for you lot. Yeah, so, just have to enjoy the game, really, because, you know, back then, there wasn't much to do, really. Ah, see? I don't know if I can handle the brightness being this low. My stupid millennial camera is trying to do fucking face recognition on these two here. Good luck with that one, mate, because they're facing the other way. Ooh, that was a bit risky. Ah, so you can't win, mate, you can't win. So, there we go, there we go. And that's round 1. ZX Spectrum 0, Amstrad non-existent. Thank fuck! That little prick Alan Sugar. Oof. Oh, he's a really annoying little cunt at the parties. I remember him. Oof. Oof. Trying to wit is as bad as fucking Bill Gates. Them two at a party. Just drive past in your Ferrari, mate. Leave them fucking losers alone in their Datsun Cherry. Not even a fucking Datsun 120. Anyway, you know the situation. So a bit more of my super healthy water. Which you can't buy, I make it myself. Oi, I do not piss in a bottle and drink it. That's for idiots like fucking old style gaming and other losers. I think that's the reason why their IQ is so fucked up. So, let's just load this up again. And of course they're just REM statements. Well, they're not even REM statements. Only the first line is a REM statement. Yeah, I'm trying to be a bit gentle with the old Spectre. I don't want to like go straight in, but you know what? This is England, mate, and in England, football is the most important sport in the world, which is why clueless fucking male airheads, aka himbos or male bimbos, mimbos as I like to call them. But I'll accept the term himbo. That's quite creative and good to know, sir. So, now of course I've written this super advanced program which does all sorts of great things. Will generate text to video AI and everything in about 0.01 picoseconds using the 1 megahertz C60. I had to use a special routine for that, but I can't just show you that really because that's patent pending, and you know, don't want to give away all my trade secrets because I'm going to make $1 million out of that one. But yeah, anyway, like I said, football is the most important sport in the world as far as English people go. Possibly Welsh people as well, but I don't know if they had televisions back then in Wales. I'm not sure when the colour television arrived in Wales. Was it 1994? According to Bob Mills, it was something like that anyway. So, yeah, Bob Mills is another cunt who stole my personality. But I wasn't as fat as Bob Mills back then, so... yes, if you haven't seen that, then... well, it's going to be interesting if I didn't put it in here. I did put it in there, of course I did. Of course I did. Now, like I said, international soccer is the most successful 8-bit game in the entire world. It sold 55 billion copies, and that was just on the Max machine. And, you know, maybe you don't know these facts, but that's okay. I'm here to teach you, so we're all right with that. And if you can see a reflection in the TV of my 150-inch telly, which isn't actually a telly, is to tellies what the holodeck is to actually going somewhere, then you know, that's okay. We're here to teach you. We're here to you know, put the world right. course, this tune is written by my good friend Vangelis there. Yeah. Vangelis always said you'd have to be a prick to buy an Amstrad or a Spectrum. And who can argue with Vangelis? You can't argue with Vangelis. Don't even try. Only the scum class do that, mate. And they have their own YouTube channels to go to. So get the fuck out my channel, cocksucker. Right, now that we've got the losers out of the way, like I said. Now, this particular tune was stolen by some like little oik who worked for Firebird and stuck on, you know, Druid 2. But, you know, let's not get into the legalities. But anyway, we had to make a roll up there. Because obviously people who love football smoke like a fucking chimney. Well, they did back then when remotely masculine men were playing football. The only thing people care about right now, as far as football players go, is how brilliant their hair gel is, or they spend like £200,000 on special razors for their bum fluff, because they haven't actually got a beard, they've got bum fluff. You know, I've got thicker hair on my arse, and that's not because I have thick hair on my, I've got no hair on my arse, but it's still thicker than the hair on the face of pricks like Beckham, which is why they marry women who look like men, like Victoria Beckham. Actually, all the Spice Girls were ugly as fuck, but you know, that's feminism for you, eh? Now, of course, this is a loading screen from the licensed tape release of International Soccer by CRL, which hardly anyone knows. That's really where the extra 5 billion sales came from for the tape version, because obviously you can't load up the tape version on the Max machine. So yeah, you know, what are you going to do, mate? What are you going to do, eh? So yeah, obviously smoking whilst playing football, it's a popular pastime in 1982-83 in the UK. I don't want a 2-player game. Yeah, we go with that. Yeah, go with that. Don't really work that business. Funny thing is, if you play the game now, it come up in colour. But yeah, don't expect the Patreon pricks to point that out to you. I do believe the graphic for the Queen at the end was actually modelled by Sarah Brightman, and Quantel Paintbox, I believe, was used to transfer down to the sophisticated Commodore graphics. Okay, we pressed the wrong one for the thingy, and my hunchback is falling. I don't know which way I'm supposed to go now. Their guys are coming from that side. That's always a good sign. Head towards their guys. That's a brilliant game. Brilliant game. One of the first games was like, you've got a Spectrum. What the fuck is a Spectrum, mate? And he walks it in. Obviously that's an American goalie there, because he's waiting for you to pick the ball up by your hands, because they don't know what football is in America. I don't know why. Maybe it's a problem with the schools. Perhaps I'm going the wrong way. Who knows, mate? Well, they're coming from there, so it could have been an own goal. Could have been an own goal, but this is you know, this is England, mate, and we've had some terrible cock-ups with the World Cup, so I'm just keeping it realistic there for you. It's not a mistake, no. Aussies don't make mistakes, mate. I don't mean Australians, obviously. I mean Aussie, as in other versions of me. And there we go. Ooh, see, that's a real Kevin Keegan quality one, that is. no. Apparently, they don't have an American goalie. They have fucking Pat Jennings. Fuck's sake. Cross the bar there, cross the bar, innit? Yeah, because, you know, on Spectrum games, unlike in the real world, when you move, things don't move. See, so, but on the C64, we actually had scrolling. It was a new invention. And they didn't, Sir Clive, I don't believe he knew about scrolling. Or he didn't really care about using it for the money. Well, we've got the double stitch there, innit? Oh no! I Rooney'd it up there, mate. Rooney'd that one up. Ryan Giggs that one up. Not that I really care about any footballer, actual real footballer. They're all fucking thick as shit. They should all be on minimum wage, if you ask me. Got that, except for the goalies, when they're that sort of quality. My roll-up's gone out, a common problem when playing football while smoking, I believe. Really advanced football players would actually be eating a bacon sandwich, drinking a cup of tea, 4 sugars, loads of milk. You know. Whee. He walks it in, you know, Arsenal, they always walk it in, mate. So yeah, I think we've successfully covered the test for, you know, this idea I've had, this genius idea which no one else would ever come up with. Bit of text to video AI, bit of, you know, creativity from my superior upbringing to the Patreon pricks who probably fucking jerked off to the Spice Girls, but the Spice Girls were butt ugly, mate.